What's going on, guys? We are back, and we are definitely going to be finally reviewing The Last Kingdom, Seven Kings Must Die. So, this movie had a lot of, I would say, interesting facts of what's been going on in the film because what we see is Edward finally dies, and when he does, he has to find a successor. His wife goes on the run along with his second son, and one of the first sons is trying to take over instead of letting Athelstan take over as king. So that's when they go to Uhtred, try to get help and try to warn Athelstan. And when that happens, he Athelstan has been around someone else that has been really influencing his judgment and him as a person and as a human being and as a leader and as a king. And when this happens, we see where he is letting a, basically someone, obviously we all know how it works in these kind of films, that there's always going to be someone there that is going to influence you, whether it be bad or good. And when this does occur, we see where the way Alfson does is that he is granted to be king, and then he's still wanting Northumbria at this time, even though Uhtred is not giving the lands over just yet. But at the same time, he wants to make sure that Athelstan is going to keep his word and not do what he's doing now, because he's destroying other lands, he's taking over by force, he's getting rid of treaties, he's going over on other allies when he's listening to someone else for the wrong reasons because he has an unknown relationship with this man, and he's saying it's a sin, and the one that's with him saying it's a sin. But with what he's going to be doing, is God's work is going to make better. Which again is just this character. You just hope already that he dies already because he's very annoying, and they wanted to put this in the movie anyway, which was the whole premises was having Athelstan listen to somebody that was a love interest rather than listening to someone that actually knew what they were talking about, like Uhtred or someone else. And Uhtred unfortunately has to do the exact same thing as he always does, is keep a king on the throne as well as also listen to reason and keep your head clear while other forces are gathering in the shadows, because the one that Athelstan is listening to has allied himself with a Dane leader that is gathering all the other Danes slash other warriors across the nations to gather and go up against Athelstan and kill him. Now, this movie pretty much was like a series within a season within itself, because you do see where Athelstan turns on everybody. We do have a death in here that's pretty impactful as well, and Uhtred gets betrayed yet again, and he loses his kingdom, and then he has to fight for it yet again, and then he even gets brought into the fold of these unknown leaders that are trying to take Athelstan down. And he's still loyal to Athelstan even though after everything he's done to him, because he raised him and he taught him how not only how to be a fighter, so he looks at him like another son. It's just at the same time, with everything that's going on with all these other warriors that have attacked in Uhtred's home and kills I believe it was Finral's wife that they killed, and that was a very emotional scene because they have to go back and they try to find her, and she's unfortunately dead, and they have to gather whatever forces that they have so that way they can defend England at all costs and be able to hold on to their lands and be able to hold on to their sons and loved ones. And this was really much the impactful finale of it. And I will say, spoilers ahead, that Uhtred even did lose his sword throughout the main time of his film, and he finally gets it back, and I'm very happy that he finally did get it back, because it means you realize, oh crap, what, he's had the sword for so long, and he finally found it, because Uhtred, he's getting older, and he's not the same warrior we once knew, and he's getting a little slower in his age, unfortunately. And hopefully that we can see the remainder of what's going to happen when you do finally see what happens is Uhtred does save everybody, but at the same time it makes you a little bit bittersweet, because Athelstan finally listens to him, and he finally realizes that he made a mistake, and they finally gather forces to take on one last army one last time, and then Uhtred gives himself up pretty much in battle to save Athelstan and the rest of these people that he has known for so many years. And then when he does this, he pretty much almost falls in battle, and they do win after the battle strategy that he came up with, but not without losing him, because he does get injured, but at the very end he does swear to have Northumbria become part of England. And at the same time, at the very end of the scene, which is weird, is that she's telling him that if he does do this, then Alfson has to have no heirs and let his brother take the throne when he's ready, and that was his agreement. And at the same time, we have where he gets up, even though they think that Uhtred was going to be fine, and he goes up and he hears, and this is what was really weird, and they've done this in Vikings as well, and they've done this in this show too, of where he hears like this rumbling, like, or just a big old crowd, and I'm like, okay, is it his people in his kingdom? But no, he opens up the doors and it's Valhalla. He sees all the people that he knew in his days of being younger. I mean, he sees everybody that, you know, he knew, and it was really crazy, because and then he looks back, and he's like, he's looking at his friends and his loved ones right now, but at the same time he's still looking at, you know, the ones that he knew when he went throughout the entirety of the show. And it's like, oh, it's like he doesn't choose to go into Valhalla, but he just stays in the hallway. And that's pretty much how this ends, is that, you know, he's pretty much torn. Like, I guess, did he actually die in battle, or did he just give enough to where he finally stepped back in his seat and he unfortunately died, and that he thought that he got up and he didn't. So there's really unknowing if he really died at this point or not, because it looked like he was able to go to Valhalla, but at the same time that he chose, like, to either hold off or not go yet. So it's really unsuring on the ending of this movie. And I will say, it was very good to see the rest of the cast return, like, you know, like Alexander Drummond to play Uhtred one last time, and also Mark Ruffalo to play Finral, and we got to see Cedric again. We got to see all these amazing characters one more time, and it was kind of like almost like putting like a bow on a great franchise. And I don't know about you guys, I really enjoyed The Last Kingdom. I watched it for several seasons. It was on for 5 seasons, and we got it for this, you know, final movie. And I think they were trying to put a bow on everything to give it a good send off. And I think in a way they did give it a good send off, but in a way it also kind of made you leave with a little bit more questions. It's always that kind of a show that they always leave you on more questions than they do being fulfilled, and they kind of just leave you and go, okay, you know, give these theories over time, and then sooner or later either the writers or the actors themselves are going to give you what their interpretation is of the show and what happened, or what they think happened, or what actually did happen that the fans did not see or did not know. So who knows? Maybe Alexander Drummond's going to say something about it, or maybe the creators of the show are going to say something to the writers. I don't know. But overall, guys, what do you think of the Last Kingdom, Seven Kings Must Die? What did you guys think of the film? Have you seen the film yet? What was your overall thoughts of it? Please let me know down in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, leave a big like on it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll be seeing you guys on the very next one.